Right, okay, let's get ourselves a Parasite of Mortrex actually built here. I'm not going to deny it. I'm always trying to read very carefully the words, what these things are called, just partly because I actually struggle sometimes with my reading. Basically, what ends up happening is I don't want to say I'm dyslexic per se, although I'm reasonably confident that's what it is. But basically, I'm just so hyped up and hyper most of the time that I think I've read something in one way, and it turns out I've read it in a different way. Right, so let's get building on this thing. We need to start off by getting parts 2 and 3 out, which are here, which are the chest pieces. And number 1, which is the tail piece. Okay. Trying to have a really good think now about kind of where I'm up to with my painting, because I think I've reached a point where I've pretty much followed all the guides all the way through with my Tyranids. Now, to my mind, the actual colour schemes have a long way to go to actually be finished, and I'm wondering with Combat Patrol, because we are swapping to different factions entirely, I'm kind of curious about how they'll go through the painting guides as we get new paints and as we swap between the factions. Now get that together nice and neat. Seeing that. Yeah, because I feel like, how is it going to impact on the painting process later on? Because obviously, if we put our Tyranids down, go away and start building other things and painting other things, will they go back and say, now this is how we do edge highlighting, this is how we dry brush? I can only assume they will do. It's just I'll be curious about how those painting guides will develop. One thing that I have noticed is with Combat Patrol, we seem to be getting a huge number of paints very early on in the collection, which is good because it's going to allow us to make sure that all these different factions are getting their base colours down quite quickly. Anyway, I probably shouldn't be talking about that during a build video anyway. I should save that for my painting video, shouldn't I? Okay. Yeah, just looking at this, I mean, it's just got such a thin body to it. It's quite interesting how thin and big question is, which direction does this go on? Gotta get this right, you see. Gotta get it the right way around. See, I have to admit, get a second one of these, and my goodness, you could create a really cool Emperor's Children or Slanesh Corrupted champion using this tail. It's perfect for it. I bet it would perfectly fit a Space Marine's body. Not perfectly, but I think it would still fit. I'm saying perfectly. I don't think it's fair to say it's perfectly fit. It will fit. Doesn't have a good, like, it doesn't really secure very easily, that one. Just making sure that this is going on the right way, but yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Doesn't feel like it's a very strong link, that, to be quite honest. Right, we need 4, 5 and 6 now. Just the head part. So looking at this part here, appearance wise, it gives me a distinct feeling of, I think the unit was called Raveners, and they were like a burrowing tyrannid. Number 6. You know, that kind of, the head and the body feels like it uses that basic body plan. As I said, the great thing about tyrannids is that you can literally, you could make every single, you could basically collect an entire hive that follows one particular look, basically. So you could go all snake bodies, you know, the sort of snake style bodies, or if you wanted to, and it would just work. I still got to paint my winged tyrant as well, but I've been kind of so busy with so many things. It's just getting around to a big job like that and getting it done right. As some of you might know, I've been obsessing over my new Death Corps models, and I do love my Death Corps. Okay, now this head is going to pop on here into that little hole there, like so. I mean, it's really cool as a model. I like the way it looks. Definitely adds something to the look of the overall faction. Right, let's get number 8 out, which is this wing. I want to get myself some Malstrain Gene Stealers as well. And number 7, which is one of the arms here. Just because I like the look of them. I love my Necromunda stuff. I'd love it if, instead of the next subscription set, instead of being Combat Patrol style or whatever, if they did one of the specialist games, I would absolutely love it. If they just did like Blood Bowl or Necromunda and just collecting the teams, that would just be amazing. I know I don't have enough clout on my YouTube channel to affect those kind of decisions, but it would be, I would think it would be fantastic if they did that. Right, let me work this out. This is quite a weird one, actually. So this little arm looks like it kind of heads in here, but it's also kind of attached to the wing. Right, let me just be careful about this so I get it right. let me work this out properly, because it feels to me like this looks like a little bit of wing. So if the wing itself seems to be quite high up on the model, doesn't it? Like so. So if you look carefully, it kind of does pop into that little notch there, and it feels like it sits like that. So let's get that first little bit in like that. Let's get the air into the glue so that it really bonds properly. Okay, now how does this click in then? It's very strange that, isn't it? I think it must go I'll work this out, don't worry. See, it feels like it kind of sits in like this somehow. That has got to be one of the weirdest ones that I have ever seen. As a connector, it definitely heads down here. Such a strange setup, this. Because you've even got a little notch here. It just feels so very odd. I'm just going to pause the video and give myself a little thought about that. Yeah, so I've just worked out what I've done wrong here. So the problem is, I've just kind of assumed that basically I put that on back to front. Don't mess with me. And by putting that on back to front, it's meant that this part obviously isn't finding its natural place to sit. You know, sometimes it's good that I do these things so that it's me who's completely messing up and not you. And then that part, of course, then holds there. Just need to put a bit of glue there as well. Kind of I was like that going, yeah, I've put that on back to front, but I wasn't 100% certain. That's why I stopped for a second. Literally took me a few minutes of very carefully having a good look at everything. And then I realised I'd put everything back to front. Dumb of me. But you know what? These things happen. And as I said, it's best that I make these cock-ups so other people don't. There we go, that's better. That's right now. Okay. I'm having a dumb day. Right. Let's get these next parts out then, shall we? Number 9. Tell I've had my meds changed. I'm all over the place. Right, so get that out. Let's get number 9 on first. That's all nicely cleaned up. Get it on it like so. Right, number 11 now, get this tidied up. Right, let's get this arm in. This one is kind of popping it into that hole there, I think. Again, not exactly an easy one to get in. It's just about finding the right position as well. You want to get it off, because if it's even slightly off, it's not going to kind of sit right. Okay. Now, let me just double check something here. Number 10. Yeah, it's definitely you can just, sometimes with models you can just tell they feel fragile as you're putting them together. You can just feel like the slightest knock and the whole thing's going to come up to pieces. Right, number 12, which is this base support. Okay, what I'm going to do is going to find a good place to put this on here, so it feels like it's best off going slightly off center. Because basically the center of gravity of the model, it's kind of over this way. Like so. And there we have it. That is our Parasite of Mortrex, all nicely built. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.